Hello everyone and welcome to our Week 1 battle of the GBA Season 9. We, the New York Empoleon, I just missed my chair. We, the New York Empoleon, are going to be taking on Jolt and the Kansas City Jirachiefs here in Week 1. We are repping the WashU in St. Louis shirt, since obviously, as many of you know, if you watched Team Builder yesterday, you definitely know, because I've told you there, and I've told people on streams, and I've told people before in other Discord servers. But Jolt, Styx, and I all went to the same university and graduated, class of 2016, so we are all repping, I don't know if he's repping it, but I'm repping the WashU shirt this week for my first time taking on anyone who went to WashU in League format. But this is going to be super exciting. He is inviting me to a single battle right now. You can see this whole new layout for the GBA specifically, so hopefully if you guys have any feedback on it, I should probably actually shift the computer a little bit. But if you guys have any feedback on it, please tell me what you guys think about it. If you guys like the way that it's all laid out, really appreciate any feedback, helpful or hurtful is always good. And hopefully everyone enjoys the content that I am bringing to you for the GBA Season 9. You can see my team down below, rocking out with, and you will see his team pop up when I do actually know what his team is going to be. Instead of past times where I've had my predictions there, I'm just going to put his team when it shows up. So hopefully you guys are excited for a little bit of a new style of stuff there and on the bottom there. But yeah, so we're going to be... I won't always show this part of the video, but this time, since I'm doing a little bit of an explanation, I'm just going to talk about it. Usually I show this little intro and then I do the thing. I have not done Team Builder separately from the battles in a while, but that is what it is. So we're going to jump in. My team is ready to go. I saw that everything had items. I don't have a Z move this week, so I don't have to worry too much about it. So I'm going to, before I click let the battle begin, I'm going to message Jolt on Discord and say good luck, have fun, and then I will close Discord and open up my calcs. And the dock is open, and I'm going to click let the battle begin. And Jolt is all set and ready to go. So we're going to jump right into this, see what 6 he's bringing. And you guys, as soon as they come up, we'll see, boom, on the bottom of the screen, which 6 he has for the rest of the game. He's got Magearna, Mega Aerodactyl, Zekrom, Mew, Crocodile, and Scolipede. So no Manaphy, which is fine. No Mismagius, which is fine. No Skull. I put Scolipede on the team that I was predicting him to bring, but he didn't bring it. He brought the... Wait, he does a Scolipede. What am I saying? What am I saying? The only thing I thought he would bring was Manaphy, but he brought the Crook instead, which is totally fair. So Scolipede being Scarfed or Mew being Scarfed are the only things that can outspeed or speed tie with a Scarf Victini. I think I can just lead with Victini. Threatens his entire team, and if it doesn't threaten it, I can U-turn out onto something that does threaten them on that he's got in. And yeah, if he leads with his Magearna, then that's a big boy play right there. But I'm expecting a Crocodile lead, honestly, all things considered. And even if it reveals that I am Scarf Victini, that's fine. I can pretty freely go out into my Donphan on the Crook and then set up rocks. And if he shows that he is actually not Scarfed and instead has Taunt, then at least I know he's not Scarf Crook, and then my Mega Beedrill outspeeds it for late game. But a Scarf Crook seems to be a reasonable bring against my team. Scolipede is obviously something I have to watch out for. Scolipede is really scary in this matchup, but the thing about Scolipede here is that it had the most 4 move slot syndrome when coming up against my team. Since he couldn't bring coverage for everything, he has to lose coverage somewhere. So whether that's not having rock coverage for Crobat, whether it's not having ground coverage for the Dialga, or poison coverage for my Superior, which can technically be covered by Bug as well, but Mega Horn's obviously not as reliable. So there's the Crocodile, and we are going to jump right into this. That is what I was sort of expecting him to lead with. He could set up his Stealth Rocks here. We're going to see if he is Intimidate, and we do see the Intimidate. That's fine. So if he's Scarf Crook, I mean, no matter what, my play is always to just click U-turn, since I am Scarf Victini and I outspeed a Scarf Crook. So we are just going to click U-turn here. And if he's Scarf Crook, he'll know that I'm Scarf Victini. Not a big deal. I'm pretty much by leading Victini, proving that I'm Scarf Victini, since I was willing to lead against the Mega Arrow. And if he clicks Knockoff on my Donphan, it's not the end of the world either. We do have the leftovers on Donphan, but, you know, it's going to get worn down throughout the game regardless. It really just hard counters the Scolipede and the Crook. And Scolipede, even if Donphan takes a hit from the Crook, can't really do anything. So what I want to do is go into Donphan and then click Stealth Rock, and if he does show me the taunt, then that's fine. And if he switches out into something like the Mew or Mega Arrow, then that's also fine. Since I can't even hit the Mega Arrow anyway. So we do about 30%, so we see this as an offensive Crocodile probably. So I am definitely just going to go into Donphan here. That is 100 in the play if he is Scarfed. then I don't know. He's either going to click EQ or a knockoff here. And if he's not Scarf and he goes for Rocks, then he's probably just going to think that I am, what am I going to say? Rapid Spin. And Donphan eats that knockoff. So now we can scout how much damage that did to me with his Crocodile. So it brought me down to 148 out of 197, which is 51. So he is probably Jolly Scarf. It's actually a really low roll if he's max attack at Jolly. So he may not be max attack here. So he could have a little bit of defensive investment. He may not be Scarfed. I'm going to click Stealth Rock. And he goes for the Toxic. That's fine. So we know he's not Scarfed for later. So we know my Mega Beedrill has speeds, which is totally fine by me. And I do get Stealth Rocks up against him, which hits his Mega Arrow and his Mew. Not his Mew. Well, it does hit his Mew, but it hits his Scolipede, which are two things that I definitely want to make sure Rocks are up against. Now EQ, I'm not at -1 right now, is looking to do about 50%. So it's pretty free. If he goes into Mega Arrow, then I just click Gyro Ball the turn after that. And so I'm just going to click EQ here. I don't lose very much. And he didn't set a Stealth Rock up. He might have Rocks on this thing, but he didn't set them up right there. So we are just going to be able to click EQ right here. Again, Donphan, it's a really good early game mon for me, but it's not going to win me any awards for being the most important in the late game. So he goes for his Rocks here. So we do see the Rocks come up on his end. And at that point, I have to question whether or not I want to keep my Donphan around to set up Rocks again if I do defog with my Crobat later, which I now know outspeeds. And we do see that do a ton of damage to Crook. And we're going to take a little bit of Toxic damage. So I could go out into Crobat here. He might knock off again, which would be his best way to hit the Crobat. He may EQ here. Crobat with a U-turn and not being intimidated would kill this Crocodile, probably, based on the roll that Donphan just did, which was a low roll if he's got no defensive investment. And it allows me to keep my Donphan around for later, although I definitely think that just an Ice Shard probably doesn't kill from here. It's a roll, Ice Shard. A pretty good roll, honestly, but it's definitely a roll. But it also shows more of my set. Is that a problem? I'd rather click Ice Shard and not take the damage right now. And he's going to switch out, so that's fine. If he goes into the Mega Arrow, then... or the Mew. Okay, so he can click Defog with Mew if he wants to. Definitely could have just clicked EQ again there, but that's fine. That does nothing to Mew. Okay, so let's look at Mew. And that's just a... doesn't even show if he's defensive. He's got leftovers. So Mew's here now, and Rocks are up on my side of the field, which I definitely don't love them being there. He could defog. That's an option for him. I could go Serp here to try to bait that defog out. I don't know what else he would necessarily do. He could go with the Munium Z. I'm going to go into Serp here. Since Serp doesn't really hard wall anything so much, and if he does defog, I get the evasion boost, which would be pretty wild. And if he clicks Psychic, I'm going to take it. So he goes for the taunt on my Serperior, which is fine. He can't really defog on my Serp, and I show the leftovers. Now I can just go for a Leaf Storm here. It's fairly free. If he goes into Crook, that's or not Crook, Zekrom, that's obviously the biggest threat. But if he does that, I just sack off my Donphan, and then I have a switch out from there. So I'm going to click Leaf Storm. I don't really lose much by doing it. We get a little bit of scouting on his Mew to see kind of what he wants to do. Looks like to be a more defensive Mew, which makes me think it's probably Z Scolipede. So we are going to Leaf Storm the Mew. It's going to tank that, obviously. Does about 25%, so not too surprising. Mew goes for the knockoff. So very supportive Mew. I spelled knockoff wrong. Oh my gosh, stop that. Okay. So I can click Leaf Storm again here. And if he goes out into Scolipede, I click Hidden Power Flying 100 times out of 100. If he goes into Zekrom, That's obviously the biggest threat here, since I don't have a way to hit it, but he'd have to worry about Dragon Pulse at that point. And so, actually, a +2 followed by a +4 Leaf Storm to a Zekrom after Rocks has a pretty good chance to kill it. So, it doesn't kill the Mew. We saw the neutral, how much the neutral one did. It'll do about 50% here. If he goes for Toxic, that would obviously be worst case scenario. But he really can't safely switch anything aside from Magearna in right now, but the taunt's going to wear off at that point. So Carnage comes in, that is the Scolipede. Okay, so it's going to take some Stealth Rocks, it's going to take some Leaf Storm. And I guess, do I trust that he's not going to be running max speed Scolipede? He could Protect here. Mega Horn kills. Poison Jab kills. If he's adamant. But if he's adamant, then he doesn't. So he needs to be Jolly max speed and click Mega Horn. In order to kill my Superior. If he's not max speed, I could click Reflect here to survive any hit outside of a Buggy MZ. But then he's going to outspeed me the following turn anyway. So I think I'm just going to click Hidden Power here. And he goes for the Protect to try to get out some speed, which is totally reasonable. Could have clicked Reflect there on that Protect, which would have allowed me to survive the next hit. Probably should have just predicted that. Because now he could be adamant and outspeed me. As a result, I think my play is to switch out my Superior at this point. It still has a ton of value to me. And either go into the Donphan or the Crobat. Since Crobat can go right through a substitute on this Superior, but he could Swords Dance here, predicting the switch. But Serp can 1v1 the Mew, clearly. But it doesn't really, I don't really need it for anything else, although it does outspeed the Crook as well. So I'm going to go Donphan. If he sets up a Swords Dance, then I have to go Crobat. Or possibly Dialga. So pops off the Z move. Fightinium Z? Is that Fightinium Z? Did I see that right? No, it's Rocky MZ. Okay. So he's got the either Rock Slide or Stone Edge. Tried to read the switch into my Crobat there. Donphan actually survives that, which is pretty wild. And he's gonna get another speed boost here. He could click Protect to kill off Donphan after toxic damage, potentially, and try to get another speed boost. Barring that, he might just attack me as well. I'm just going to click Ice Shard. I really don't lose too much, even if he clicks Protect here. And we are just going to get off a chip damage amount, which is perfectly fine by me. He clicks Aqua Tail. He lands the Aqua Tail. But we're seeing his set. Protect, Rock Slide, Aqua Tail. So you see how eventually we're going to see that he doesn't have the moves to hit everything on my team. That's the important thing here. He does have the Rock Slide or Stone Edge with the Scolipede, but he has not gotten to +2. So assuming he's adamant, Rock Slide's doing about 50% to Crobat. And so I think that is going to be my switch in here. He's not going to be able to kill me with it. Stone Edge. Stone Edge does not kill even after rocks unless he crits. So at this point, I can easily just click Brave Bird. If he sets up a substitute, then it dies. And I don't think he'd set up a substitute. I don't know why you would do that necessarily. He may Protect to try to scout out if I'm trying to predict something or whatever. But then I get a little bit of Black Sludge recovery. So if it's Rock Slide, very unlikely to kill, barring a flinch into a second Rock Slide. If it's Stone Edge, it's not. It will only kill with a crit. Which, of course, you know, it's me, so I speak into existence, and that's what's going to happen. But since he's already used up the Rocky MZ, that means he can't kill me with any hit. He can also miss either one of those attacks. So he's actually going to switch it out, preserve it for later. Sends out Loki, which is the Crocodile. Gets a little Intimidate off on me, which is fine. Eats it. Oh, man. Eats his Ayapapa Berry. Of course it put him in range to pop that. Of course I put him in range to pop that. That's fine. We've seen Knockoff, Stealth Rock, and Toxic. So I'm going to take a little bit of recoil here. Get a little bit of Black Sludge back. He might knock off here. I know I outspeed you, but I don't really have a reliable switch into this outside of maybe Serp. So I could U-turn. How much is U-turn doing at -1 to a Crocodile? A little bit less than Brave Bird, actually, which is interesting. I can also Roost and kind of scout out what he wants to do. Since after a Roost, or I can just defog the rocks, force him to reset them up. So after another switch in to Stealth Rock, then the Scolipede kills. So that's something to consider. Although Scolipede can't kill my Dialga at this range, so that's fine. Since he doesn't have the ground DMZ. Although I don't really want to use the Shuka Berry on it, I might have to. So I think I'm just going to click U-turn here. And just go out into my Superior. Be able to click Leaf Storm at that point on whatever. And if he goes for a Toxic, that's a really good read. If he goes for a knockoff, then I've already got my item knocked off. So like, what do I really lose by that? There's the knockoff. So yeah, I'm going to lose like, you know... Oh, he crits me. Oh, he crits me. Okay. Great. At this point, I think my only play... He's probably not going to stay in. I don't really see why he would stay in right now. He probably goes Zekrom here, honestly. So I think my play is just setting up a Reflect. If he does stay in and he hits me through the Reflect and kills my Superior, then he does. But at least I have a Reflect up. And then I can just go out into Victini and kill this Crocodile. I know Victini's got only a limited number of switch-ins, so maybe I go Mega B and kill it, since Victini's switch-ins are way more important than Mega B's by the end of the game. And keeping that thing around and healthy will be vital. So I'm just going to Reflect here. I expect him to switch. I expect him to honestly go Scully. Although if he's afraid of the Glare, which is a real thing that I could definitely have, and I do, then he's may not go Scully, go hard Scully here. He might just sack off his Crook or go out to Zekrom. Now I do survive another switch into Stealth Rock here, even after the crit. So we're just gonna Reflect here, and we're gonna scout out what he wants to do. Just knockoffs again. Does this kill through the Reflect? No, it doesn't. Wow, that's a pretty significant thing. We're gonna click Leaf Storm. 100% click Leaf Storm here. I sort of expect that to kill, I'm not gonna lie. If he didn't crit me on the first one, we'd be at a decent amount of health right now. But of course, week 1, what else is gonna happen other than Superior getting crit by a Crocodile? Knockoff. Without an item. Oops. Yeah, we were looking to take about 30%, but instead we took like 70% because it was like a high roll crit. No, we took like 50%. We were at 132, we went down to 35, took 100 out of 181, which is a little over 50%, which is a high roll crit regardless. So Superior kills Crocodile. There we go. Superior kills Crocodile with Leaf Storm. If he goes Zekrom here, I can't survive another switch into Stealth Rocks. Since I am at 12 HP, which is 6%, which dies to Stealth Rock. So if he goes Zekrom, I basically just have to click Leaf Storm and do as much damage to that as I possibly can. Although he doesn't know what hidden power I was rocking on the Scolipede. He goes Scully, so he's probably going to Protect here to outspeed me and stall out a turn of the Reflect, which is sort of not ideal. I'm just going to click... I mean, I could click Leaf Storm here, which puts me in threatening range of the Zekrom, honestly. If he doesn't decide to Protect for whatever reason, he's going to Protect. But I have no... like, there's nothing I can do with that information. Like... Right? There's nothing I could... like, he's gonna protect, but like, what does it matter? I don't have Synthesis. If I have Synthesis, then he can't protect, and he doesn't know my last move. So I click Hidden Power here in case he thinks I'm gonna click Synthesis on his protect. He doesn't. I don't have it, so hard to do that. So far, he's showing me 2 moves that aren't 100% accurate. So there's a very good chance that this Scully could still die. And he can't sub or anything, so I'm going to click Hidden Power once again. And if he misses his move, which would have been really nice, you know, but it didn't happen. So Scolipede kills Superior with Rock Slide, and the Speed Boost is going to come out. I have 2 turns of Reflect left, which means I can go out into Crobat here. I can safely Roost, and then safely Brave Bird on the following turn. Since Rock Slide can't kill me after the Protect, or after the Reflect, excuse me. So he's 100% reliant on a crit, or not a crit, well, a crit or a flinch. But a Roost with still a turn of Reflect left into a Brave Bird is pretty great. So Rock Slide's going to come out. He lands the Rock Slide. Does less than 50% of what I have left. Super effective. Flinch. We do have the Black Sludge, so we have 1 more turn of playing that and playing into that. Oh, no, we don't have 1 more turn to Reflect. Do I need Crobat for anything else? Nope. 90% chance that a Crobat dies. Miss. Nope. Okay, so Rock Slide. Scolipede kills Crobat with Rock Slide. And my only switch in right now is the Dialga, which is not something I wanted to bring in right now. Earth Power's fairly free, unless he goes Mega Arrow, which would be a really surprising switch in right now. Flash Cannon's totally free, except if he goes Zekrom, which would be a arguably less surprising switch right now, although still very surprising. He probably has the EQ, he probably pops my Shuka-Berry, which is super frustrating. I'm going to click Flash Cannon, since it does at least do damage to anything. Superpower is what comes out, which we'll be able to tank, but that's a lot of damage I didn't need to take. So Dialga kills Scolipede with Flash Cannon. Basically what it means is that I can't 1v1 McGearin anymore. Okay. So Mew's down a little bit to where I can click Draco Meteor on it. He hasn't seen my item. If he goes Mega Arrow, I take a Earthquake still. Now I do still have Victini, which doesn't 1v1 Zekrom, so I definitely need to get that thing out of the way. There it is. Now, Max Attack Dragon Claw does not kill from here. Unless he's, like, banded. He could go Earth Power, but that hits into my... Outrage does kill from here. I have a tiny bit of speed investment. I'm a click Draco Meteor. He goes for Tailwind. Okay. Interesting. He's Habanberry. So he survives. Crit him. No? Okay. Well, at this point, I just have to let Dialga go down, I think. And at -2, Draco still kills a Zekrom. Earth Power does 31% minimum. And based on neutral damage with a Bond Berry, he doesn't seem to be too bulky, so I'm going to click Earth Power. And he goes for the Dragon Claw, which actually shouldn't kill me. Oh, goodness. Wow, game. Why do you have to make him critical me? Dialga with Dragon Claw. Do you Oko Beedrill? Yeah. Yeah, you Oko Beedrill. And you'll Oko Victini after rocks with a Bolt Strike. Oh! Without that crit, Dialga kills Zekrom. He's still alive, forces him to go into something, stalls out a turn of Tailwind. You know, I've never understood why I play this game. This makes me question everything. What are you going to go for? Dragon Claw. Yeah, that makes sense. 100% accurate. How many turns of Tailwind left? One more. We double protect. We don't lose anything by doing it. We'll lose our Beedrill anyway. Don't hit the double. Why would we hit the double protect? Why would we ever hit a double protect here? Zekrom kills Beedrill with Dragon Claw. Okay, so I can't V-create, even though it does kill Zekrom from here. It's the only thing that kills Zekrom from here. Bolt Strike does nothing. Then I don't have to speed the Mega Arrow. But now I don't have to speed the Mega Arrow. There's just like... He's still got Mew. Like, I had... Okay, so the crit on Serperior, the flinch on Crobat, the crit on Dialga, and the not double protect on Mega Beedrill is all what's going to lead to a 3-0 loss. He has to just go Mega Arrow and just click Earthquake, I mean, or Rock type move, or whatever. I mean, I don't even kill you with V-Create. Like, yeah. You always go this thing. And I have to, I mean, I'm scarfed into V-Create, so but I don't outspeed you, because I'm already at -1 and I can't switch out into anything. The Tailwind was a great play. I don't think that Jolt prepped poorly, but I also don't think Jolt beat me because I played poorly. You know? That's the way this game is going to go. EQ is going to come out from the Mega Arrow. And that's just going to take me out, which is perfectly reasonable. And great game to Jolt, and I want to commend you for everything you did, but I also feel like RNGesus was just like, I hate you, and this is why. And I don't know why. He told me, but I totally missed it. But yeah, so I think that I played very, very well and prepped very, very well for this game. I think that things were going my way in the early game for the most part, The first thing I did wrong, and I definitely think that this was a bad play, was not predicting the Protect on the Scolipede and going for the Reflect first turn, because had I done that with Superior, I would have been able to kill the Scolipede. Since he had no chance, I should have just done it because I outsped him anyway, and it wouldn't have allowed him to kill me with anything besides Bug EMC. So that definitely was the right play there. Second thing, though, that happened right after that was the crit from the Crocodile onto my Superior. Had that not happened, I could have clicked Reflect, but enough HP after the second knockoff to switch out, which would have been huge. Being able to switch out there would have been really, really nice. And then I would have been able to play on with the Superior, having another chance to get off another Reflect, or Glare. So then the flinch on the Crobat, which didn't allow it to roost to survive another Rock Slide after the Reflect wore off, then I could have Brave Birded into his Scolipede and killed that with still the Crobat alive and the Dialga at full. So then his Zekrom, even the crit on Zekrom wouldn't have mattered because he wouldn't have a superpower to hit my Dialga with. And then, even if all of that went the same way that it did, if Mega Beedrill hits the double Protect, it kills Zekrom. I U-turn kill Zekrom, right? U-turn kills I would have calced it, obviously. But U-turn, yeah, U-turn may not kill Zekrom, so I would have gone for the Drill Run to kill Zekrom. Kill Zekrom. He goes Mega Arrow, and his Zekrom's gone, which means that my Victini is free to click Bolt Strike. And once I'm clicking Bolt Strike, there are chances for Paras. His Mew is a little bit chipped down, so there was a chance that I would have been able to kill that with a Bolt Strike, depending on his spread. I mean, it was actually very chipped down, so yeah, I would have probably killed that with a Bolt Strike pretty easily. And I also could have gone out into the Mew, predicting the Dragon Claw from the Zekrom into the Victini. I don't know why I just said Mew. I could have gone out to Victini, predicting the Dragon Claw into the Victini, survived that, then clicked V-Create from there. But that may not have been the better play, because then Mega Beedrill has to switch in on a Mega Arrow, which it never likes to do. But yeah, Bolt Strike would have killed Mew from where it was at. Bolt Strike would have killed Arrow and after the rocks, and then I'm down to Magearna versus Victini, and it comes down to can I pair a Bolt Strike, basically. So even with all of the hacks against me, it still came down to me not getting a double Protect. I played everything. I played every out. That's the way it goes. Great game to Jolt. I am babbling at this point, but I'm really excited to be a part of the GBA. So hopefully you guys think that this team had a shot to win the game, and don't think that I think a week 1 loss is going to be the end of the season for me. I will see you all back here next week as we take on Kyle A and the Miami Dawn fans. So this season is just getting started. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.